Okay, guys, y'all see those people right there? They drove past me down the same road, turned around right in front of me. The woman got out the car and walked to the other side of the street, and then the other car stopped right there, and they both drove on either side of me. Now, that woman on the side of the road, she got out of that car. She got out of that car, and then she started walking along the road. Now look, now they're finna get back in the car. So what they do is, I just said that the threats they make to me are fake. I said the threats you make are fake and they're not real, and you only do them to reinforce stimulus. Sometimes it might be real, I don't know about that, but I was like, I don't have any fear, and the only fear I have is in the Lord. Right after I said that, they do something like that. That's to reinforce fear of, what if somebody's gonna do something? What if somebody's gonna kidnap me? What if, I think there's an airplane right on front top of me, like, you know what I'm saying? Loud ass. But that's the reinforced stimulus for fear tactics, fear mongering. They drove down the street right when I started walking down this street. And I'm gonna show y'all the people who said maybe that road was open, and no, it says closed road right here. They always drive down here and do weird shit. Drove down here, then he drove all the way to the end of the street. I don't know if you can see that closed sign, it's from afar right there. Drove to the end of the street, turned around, stopped right dead in front of me, and put his blinkers on. The woman got out of the car. She gets out of the car, walks to the other side of the street. The person in the car looks at me, drives, and then she continues to walk the same pace as the car is driving. And I'm walking in the middle of the street as it's happening, and they're like on either sides of me. So as you can see, somebody getting out of the passenger seat, and then she like went to the back of the trunk, tapped it. They're not gonna actually do anything. That's to give me the fear that they're going to do something. So then I can that stimulates thought processes. Behavior stimulates thought processes, which stimulates belief, which then again stimulates behavior again. So if I perform behavior in front of you that I know will stimulate paranoia of kidnapping or endangerment or something like that, then you'll have that thought process. You'll then run and tell somebody that, hey, somebody's trying to kidnap me and somebody's trying to get me. That will be perceived to a psychiatrist who doesn't see any perceived threats as paranoia. You see, they provoke you. They provoke you with paranoid actions, don't actually do anything, but just make it seem like they're going to, so that you run out and you cry. Like it's like making you look like the little boy who cried wolf. It's like tricking you into looking like that. Except they're the wolf acting like they're gonna bite you and getting the boy to cry to the town. Instead, it's reverse. To reverse the behavior. That's what that was. And before this happened, they've never done a tactic like that. They've never made it seem like they were gonna try and do something. They've never done that. But I just got through reading a psychology book on classical conditioning, right? So y'all already know that topic. Dogs start barking right when I say that. Y'all already know that tactic, right? Well, this time I looked into the different techniques and the different tactics and the different examples. It's going into detailed information. So they probably took that as more threatening, which they projected that back onto me by wanting me to feel more threatened by them. Remember, this is a stimulation. Why? Because it stimulates that person's behavior, and I'm stimulating this person to behave in a reality that is not actually here in reality. You know, if I can create the sensations of that reality without creating that reality, I can get you to behave in that reality. If a person who's in a hostile environment is going to behave hostile, but if they're in a calm environment and they're behaving hostile, then they're trouble, right? But if I can get them to perform that same hostile behavior and make them feel stimulated enough to do that, and if I can stimulate that hostile behavior in a calm environment, I can gaslight the people around them into thinking something's mentally unstably wrong with them, which then means I can control the narrative of the situation and gaslight the people around them. Also, my TikTok showed me 4 videos of this woman being scared to cross over the San Francisco Bridge. And like literally after that, this shit's closed off. And then I have to walk across that bridge instead of this one. They just do like little petty shit to reinforce fear because they really want that response that somebody's gonna get me, somebody's gonna be after me. They want that paranoia And the reason why they stimulate the behavior and don't actually do it is because you're going to tell people that I'm doing this behavior, but there's no results from my behavior. So now you just look like someone who's saying something's happening, but not actually happening. And I stimulated the behavior of your paranoia because I was fucking with you. And because I was stimulating the behavior because I was fucking with you. So not only do they get to stimulate the paranoia, but they get to stimulate the false perception of schizophrenia by doing the actions but not actually completing the actions, so you have no evidence or proof for anything. So you see how they get to stimulate false, so the false look, it really does make a person look like they have schizophrenic paranoia, and all they have to do is perform behaviors that provokes a person to be paranoid, and then boom, all you have to do is act like you're going to do something to somebody, get them to say that somebody's doing that, don't actually do it, and then boom, they look like they're accusing people of doing something they're not doing, which makes them look paranoid and schizophrenic. This is reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is when you reverse the psychology on someone and make them look like the psychology that people are reading. So I can make if I use reverse psychology, I can make a normal person look schizophrenic. I can make a normal person look bipolar. I can make a normal person look whatever I want them to, using gaslighting, using mind games. Anything in psychology can be reversed to make a person look like the opposite of what the psychology was meant to be used for, to help them, not for corruption.